women, especially in whether it's digital marketing or it's in any form of business, we have a bit of a different connection.
I think it started from a few years ago. That's where we realized women start to have the courage to do their own business, right?
Oh, you are your personal brand, your story about you. Like what I've gone through, that's what my personal brand represents. And so at the same time, I find out we're losing everything. The guy stole all of our money, and I have a 30-day-old baby.
So I want to know how you manage your time with your family and you're teaching your daughter.
Yeah, that's a good question because that's not always like the best answer everyone wants to hear.
Yeah. Hi Creative, welcome back to Bvrdigitalk talk show with me, Renji, BVR broadcaster under the brand of BVR Group Asia, and of course with our managing director, Miss Diane Desia.
Hello Creative people, nice to see you again.
And after last episode, we had a mini workshop, and today we're back again with our Bvrdigitalk talk show to share various insights. And we have our amazing speaker, who is the CEO of Unstoppable Branding Agency, an author and a mother, Rhonda Swan.
How are you, Rhonda?
I'm good. Yeah.
It's really an honor for us to have you here. I'm very excited for this time because I look at you in a Times Square and now it's here. Wow!
So Rhonda, can you share the story behind the Times Square?
Well, Times Square, if anyone knows about Times Square, it's the biggest place in New York City, and it's very well known, of course, in America for big buildings, and Times Square is like
It's a big
billboards everywhere, and you literally walk around at night and you feel like it's daytime. It's like
Never sleep.
Yeah, never sleep. So much energy, and I'm the founder of a book series for women called Women Gone Wild.
Wow.
Gone wild.
Yeah, like wild. And, the Feminine Guide to Fearless Living. And WILD actually stands for, it's 4 books are in the series. WILD is wealth, a woman that attracts integral wealth into her life. I is intuition, a woman that listens to her intuition in moments in time of her life where maybe her gut feeling, we call it, but that's really your intuition, and it's a woman that taps into her intuition. L is leadership, stands in her leadership, whether it's in a business or a community or in her family. And then D is diversity, embraces diverse women from all diverse, areas of their life. Yeah, and so Wilds came about as a series, and I had this vision that I wanted our book to be recognized as a best-selling book and be in Times Square.
Wow. That's really cool.
It happened, we launched the book, and it was amazing. And all of our authors in Times Square, and boom, these lights come in your face. Your face is like,
That's really cool.
And you should look at on her Instagram. It's like, wow, that's really
We should show it on this video, right?
There's some cool videos of it. But
And the first time I heard about your book, it's like, Gone Wild? What does that mean? Like, really?
Right? Women have gone wild.
Yeah.
Well, so let me kind of break down where it came from, because I think all of us, all of you creators, you're like, I'm kind of wild. I'm doing something different. And we're sitting on a, couch talking and doing something for the video or YouTube. That's wild. That's different than most of my parents ever did. Maybe your parents, your parents.
Yeah.
We're going wild. We're doing something different. And the book itself came from an idea. I worked for a corporate company, years ago. Now, my goodness, it's been over 20 years. I worked for a corporate company, and I was very rigid in my day to day, going to work every day. And I realized that there was so much more out there if I were to become an entrepreneur or if I were to work for myself. And I'm going to age myself. This is back in 2003 is when I decided to quit my corporate position. I was 8 years. I was working, and This is before social media. So no YouTube, no YouTube creators, not even the word creator was around. And I watched though a interview. Do you know who Steve Jobs is?
I know Steve Jobs.
You know Steve Jobs.
That's really
Well, he did an interview and he was talking about the digital market or right, the internet space. And he said, if people right now, and this was in 2003, right? So 11 years ago.
You catch his vision.
Yeah. And he said, if you are not learning digital marketing now or learning how to understand the internet, you will be left in the dark. This is 11 years ago. No one knew what this was. The internet had just started. There was like browsers like Netscape and Google was definitely out. But no one knew what that meant. Yeah. And so I was like, I have a master's degree in business. I went to school. I have a good degree. I was an executive with a very big company and I have a marketing degree. I thought, how can I use all of this knowledge for this internet digital market? I didn't know what that meant. And so I was watching this interview and then one day I was at a meeting. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of creators here that maybe have babies, children. A lot of women are, have children. And I wanted to be a mom. I was 30 years old. I was like, I want to be a mom. And I watched a lady go to work and she had to leave her baby in daycare. Now, that's in America, that's something that everyone does. And I don't know, is that here? Yeah. Like everyone
Same
puts
here
their
as
babies
well.
in daycare and they go to work. Well,
Yeah.
I watched this woman. Her baby was only 6 weeks old. She was very, very little. And she was late for a meeting and my boss wasn't very nice to her for being late. And she said, if you want to, make a living and bring food to your table for your baby, you will never be late again. And if you are, I'll fire you. And I was like, she's a woman. That's a woman. She has a baby. And I was kind of putting all of it together going, is that who I want to be for women? Is that what I want to do? And it just made me realize, I listened to the Steve Jobs interview and he said I should learn something. What if I don't have to do this anymore and I can figure out this digital market and I can quit my job, have a baby, work from home. I had all these ideas. And you know what? It worked.
Be courage though, to do that.
Yeah, it was a lot of scary.
Outside from your comfort zone.
Yeah.
An executive level in the corporate office, everything is just very comfort. Yeah. And then suddenly you just need to really big jump.
paycheck.
Yeah.
to paycheck.
You get one though, that you're being paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was scary. And I came home and told Brian, my husband, we had just bought a really big house so we could have kids. And we lived in America then. We were not in Indonesia. And I said, okay, I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to start this digital marketing company. And he's like, what is that?
That's Rhonda gone wild.
Exactly.
That's intuition.
Right? Yeah. It's all this feeling I'm going to do it. And I had no idea what that meant. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew that I wanted to create a business that I could make money and be with my baby. And I didn't even have a baby then.
I love that spirit anyway.
See, this is where the wildness comes from.
I'm pretty sure the creators at home can feel it, all the energy. I even have a goosebump.
Me too.
A real life experience.
Yeah.
And then you decided to put it in the book. That's very nice of you.
Yeah.
You share
the whole story.
with the whole world.
And that's how it came is I had finally quit my job and then I had my daughter and, I've been working from home for 18 years. Wow. So more than that, 21 actually. My daughter is almost 18. And so when I decided to write the book, I said, what if we told stories that every woman has gone through? Yeah. Whether it's something like this or it's creating something new or, maybe doing something that they were told they were supposed to do, but they really didn't want to.
True.
And I think that happens a lot in families too. And, it's we want something so bad, but we're told we shouldn't. Or society says we should not.
Yeah.
And that's the woman that kind of goes wild. It says, I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure it out.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that's what we wrote the book about.
Women gone wild.
Very interesting. But I think, some people might questioning. When you start decided to make a big jump, it must be there is it's a hard time as well, right?
Yeah.
How you through that?
Yeah. It was really scary because my husband Brian, he's like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Literally.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
we just bought a big house in California, in the USA. He was a robotics engineer, and I was a corporate executive for a very big
Company.
Fortune 100 company in the USA.
Yeah.
Like big salaries, the cars, all the stuff.
Yeah. All the
But
facility
all the
benefits,
comfort,
right?
The
Yeah.
things you're like, oh yeah, this is great. This is forever. And they call it in America, the American dream. And I was like, I felt like this is the American nightmare. It's true.
Work 9 to 5.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'll never see a baby. If I have a baby, I drop them off in the morning. I pick them up at night. I'm tired all day. Then we're cooking dinner. Then I'm trying to be part of my family. And I do the same thing every day.
Sure.
So it was scary. And Brian was like, I don't understand what you're doing. And I said, I don't either, but I have to figure it out. So it's like that drive to find a way. So I started learning, and I started doing a lot of research on the internet, and literally like looking at mentors and people I can learn from. And I just studied and figured it out. You know?
Yeah.
So
Now you're in Times Square.
yeah, and that's how, right? Those small little visions can turn into something really big.
And you're really optimistic for this dream, right?
Yeah,
And you started
it was scary.
and you also like travel around the world, right?
Yeah, so I quit my job, and then I retired my husband because I said, okay, I figured this out. I hired a mentor. He was worked actually for Google. He helped build Google algorithms. So I had kind of one of the best teachers. And then we started building our company, and then my daughter was born. And after 3 years, so the company did really good. But this is one thing that most people don't know, and I don't always talk about, is after 3 years, we've done really well. And we said, okay, it's time, we're gonna have a baby. And I said, okay, well, let's invest. And Brian's like, let's invest in real estate. Right? Let's invest in some big real estate so that we can have a home and other projects that are making us money. And that's what we did.
So you make your money work for you.
Exactly. That was the point.
Sure.
That was the idea.
Yeah.
However, after about 1 year, we found out that the person that we gave all our money to wasn't a good guy. And he stole
You're being trapped.
everything.
Oh.
And so at the same time, I find out we're losing everything. The guy stole all of our money. And I have a 30-day-old baby.
Oh.
It was scary. So you asked about traveling. And the reason why we've started to travel is because another big moment happened, which was, what are we going to do? Right now we have this company, but now our mind, we were so stressed because we lost a lot of money. All the houses that we invested in, we had to give them back because the man stole all the money. And I have a baby. Like, this was my dream. My dream was to have a business, to build homes so that we can have other incomes, and to take care of this baby. And now I have to get a job again. And I said to Brian, should we get jobs? What should we do? And we said, no, we're actually not going to get jobs again. We have a company. We're going to get rid of everything. We're going to sell it all. And then we are going to start our life differently. And our company, because of the internet, we were already running everything digitally. Wow. Everything was already set. So we're like, if we can get our minds in a better place, because you know how challenging it can be when something bad happens in your life or something happens with your family, and that's all you can think about, right? Yeah. And that's all you can think about. You're like, I can't work. I can't do it. Like, I know a lot of people have experienced that. And that's where we were. We're like, we can't even build our business because we're so stressed and scared. So we said, okay, we're going to change our environment, sell everything. So in 2 weeks, Dion, we will be leaving, or we will have left the USA. It'll be 17 years in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, that's our kind of 17-year anniversary. And what we did, we sold everything we had. And we left with, now this is going to be in US dollars, so I'll try to translate it into, it was $12,872.62. So that's like, maybe like 20 billion, right? No, 12,000. So no, 200 million.
Yeah.
It was about 200 million that we had. That's it. And then we had because we had good jobs before. And we're like, we're going to take this and we're going to leave and we're going to start traveling. But because our business was on the internet, and this is right when first time YouTube came out. So people can find videos from us from 2009 or 8. You can look
That's
up.
where we even doesn't know about YouTube yet.
You can look up Unstoppable Family, and we have videos from 2008. Right when it started. And Facebook, same. And so we said, okay, wait, now social media, we can do this. We can run our business. We can start marketing. And because I was already learning how to run Google ads, now I can run and learn Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
And because of that, that's how our family started. Became the Unstoppable Family. That was our personal brand.
And now I know why the name is Unstoppable. Yeah.
Unstoppable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how it started. And then of course now we've lived in 50 plus countries around the world.
Wow.
And
So what the first country you've been through?
First one?
First one.
The first, and we actually went, because my daughter's name is Hanalei, we went to Hanalei Bay in Kauai. So it's still a U.S. state. But we wanted her, it's where Brian and I were married, and it's where Hanalei's name was from. So we went there first, which is a little small beach town. And then from there, we went to Central and South. Actually, no, you know what? From there, we actually came to Bali in 2009. We did a couple other stops, but we came to Bali in 2009. Hanalei was 2.
Wow. And traveling 1,000 miles
and
away already.
Then we were moving. And then 9 years ago, we said, okay, we've done a lot. We've been moving around a lot. And the business then picked up, and we were learning more. Where should we go? And we're like, love Bali. Let's come back to Bali.
And Bali calls you.
Mama Bali's just holding us here.
And you and Brian must be like really good team.
Yeah.
I mean, to change that, I mean, when you have that really bad things happen, right? But then you both look that more into positivity, and then make that as an opportunity for you to start your dream.
Yeah.
It's not like everybody can have that. So it's really inspired. And even for me, I say that a few times, I had a goosebump. And I'm pretty sure this can be like a really good, because this is a real story. I mean, like she's been through that. And if she can do it, I'm pretty sure all of us can do it.
Yeah,
right?
we can. I mean, that's the one thing that what I love what we do is, especially whether it's in, digital marketing, teaching people how to build their personal brand. They're like, oh, I don't know, I'm scared. I'm like, it's okay, because everyone is.
Yeah.
Even coming here, it's like, okay, we're on a camera now. You get a little scared.
Yeah.
Right?
But you just unstoppable.
But then you say, okay, but my story's so important. I want the creators to hear it.
You want to share it.
And so it's one step at a time, and then it gets easier.
Some people even like, I mean, I spoke with some of few friends, and then they said to me, no, I don't want to do something that I don't know. But I mean, look at this experience, and I said like, why don't? Like, why not?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I always think when someone says that, like, well, when you were 1 year old, did you know how to walk? When you were 10 years old, did you know how to ride a bicycle?
True.
We never do. So as long as we go, it's what happens. We get older and we start to care what people say.
Yeah.
And so then we're afraid.
And then I always say it's like, you cannot learn swimming from outside. You just have to jump to the pool.
Yeah, exactly. You have to just, take it, short. Yeah, exactly. And short, what do they call it? Not the deep end.
Yeah.
And the shallow end.
Yeah, and the shallow
end. And you kind of like,
learn. And then suddenly you can do it.
Exactly like that.
Yeah. There's always the first timer for every people.
Yeah.
That's where it makes me like really spiritual.
It allows you to remember that we're all really the same. All of us are the same. We all get up in the morning. Yeah. We all might be a little tired in the morning. We might need our coffee. We all wake up, put our pants on or our dresses. We do the same things, all of us. Yeah. So what makes one person more special than another? It's just the fact that they were willing to just do it scared.
Do you ever met somebody like come to you, Rhonda, and then say, Rhonda, I read your book and then you really changed my life? Is there anybody ever come to you like that?
Yeah, I mean, I have had a lot, especially women will say, gosh, thank you. They're letting us know it's okay, and that we can do this too. And thank you for, leading the way. And you're so strong. I'm like, well, you might think that, but it's sometimes I also get scared. And it's, it is scary.
It's normal.
Right? It's normal. Yeah.
We are human.
Right. I have a baby. I'm living in a foreign country, trying to get along, don't know the languages, trying to understand things, and it's like that alone would scare anyone.
Yeah.
But when you say, okay, actually, I think the world is here for us to enjoy. God, creator, whatever, you want to say, allows us to really connect. And if we actually talk to others and share our feelings, then the other person's like, oh, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we're sitting here.
Like, we're connect.
And then we can do it together.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's some saying that women in digital marketing will be brighter because we have empathy, authenticity, and storytelling is one of the core of the brand. So how do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, what our company, I have a branding and a PR firm, and that's really what I think the core of all of it. It's storytelling. And just what I did here, I shared my story.
Yeah.
And then now the creators are watching and they're connecting. And I think that women, especially in whether it's digital marketing or it's in any form of business, we have a bit of a different connection, and our empathy, right, and our intuition and awareness allows us to feel maybe with someone if they're fearful or if they need something more, And I think that is what makes us so unique as women. And I think that's also what makes us such amazing business owners as well. Because if we're working with clients, we might go, okay, so how do you feel about that? We ask feeling questions. And men never do that. They're like, that's what we're going to do. You're like, well, that doesn't feel very good to me. Yeah.
Really true. But I think I have to disclaimer that because some creators that men can be like, hey,
I'm not the one.
That's very true.
Yeah, because I think what makes it successful as well, because her husband, Brian, is also support her.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right? And that's how men and women can work together as a super team.
That's right. Because it's a good balance. And of course, we would never say anything to insult anyone. But usually when it comes to why women and men, especially pairs, or just, pairs that are equally, whether one's a little bit more stronger and the other one has a little bit more feminine, or vice versa, and it can mix, right?
Sure.
It allows us to really see the whole picture in business, like understanding a client or understanding what a client needs. You definitely need your logic and your mind, your brain. Yeah. You need that. However, it's that gut feeling that if you tap into that allows you, they might need a little more. They need a little more support. They're a little scared.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's what you were coming with is like, how do we as women, utilize that for our benefit, whether it's for business or whatever it might be. And usually using stories calms people down. Right? Like I could have came on here and our creators are watching like, this American lady and she's so loud and she, right? Because it's so different.
But it can make them very excited. And I can see the ideas why Renji say that. I mean, I think it started from a few years ago. That's where we realized women start to have the courage to do their own business. Right? And then, I mean, for us in Indonesia, if you mentioned, and then I ever talk with some of my friends, and then they say like, oh yeah, but I will become a housewife later on. I mean, a housewife is not bad. Of course.
I'm still a housewife.
Exactly. Right?
I just run a business too.
There you go. You can have both, right?
We can be everything.
You just have to learn to balance.
Yes. They have the free time on how to do it, manage their own time, right? And still look after the baby. And some women sometimes afraid to do that, mostly in the urban city. Like they already, but I have to go out again. And then how about if it didn't work? Then if it didn't work, at least you already tried.
And we learn from the mistakes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like what Rhonda said, it's never give up. Look at what happened to her and then she can change that.
Yeah. Right? I mean, and I think we all have a different level of we say resilience, right?
Yeah.
Where you're like, you get a little, or in the USA, they say you get a little tougher skin. You know,
I better make it really thick now.
thick skin, tough skin. And where I'm from, it's like that's kind of, you just work your way through it because the weather's really challenging.
Yeah.
So I grew up in an area in the USA, in Michigan. It's really strong, hard weather. And you kind of learn to like make it through things. And those are the type of personalities I think that we all have within us.
Yeah.
Yet sometimes, and I know this about many children or even adults, maybe your parents or someone that you said, I'm going to do something special. And they said, oh, don't do that. That sounds silly. Or, right? And then you're like, oh, I'll never do it again. I'll never do it again. And then, right? And then you feel that someone else doesn't support it. And it happens so much.
Yeah.
And I think that's really where like my book and what I stand for, especially with being a mom, a business owner, working with a lot of women, is that I always share with them, what was that one thing inside?
Sure.
What was that one thing that you wanted to do as a child that maybe stopped you?
Yeah.
And then let's do that. Let's look at that. What is that? Because that then allows someone to go, oh my gosh, I wanted to be a singer. Like we had a lady, one of my clients and our authors, she wanted to be a singer when she was younger. And she was told that she had a horrible voice. I was told the same thing. And then she's become a singer. And she didn't realize that was where her joy was at. Because someone said, oh, you have a terrible voice. So and now she teaches people how to be singers. So it's like they turned that little thing into a business or something that they're good at.
Yeah.
So like when we look at, what is my personal brand? What am I? Yeah. Well, you are your personal brand. Your story about you, like what I've gone through, that's what my personal brand represents.
Yeah.
Your authenticity.
Yeah, exactly. And Rhonda Swan is my name, but my brand, our family's brand is the Unstoppable Family because that's our story and we travel. Now my company is the Unstoppable Branding Agency,
That's very,
So when you start to look at that and just tell people to really just be themselves, don't try to follow what other people have done.
True. Because Unstoppable Family, it's become like themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not, it's really real. Yeah. It's not something that is fake or made just because for the show.
True. It came from your experience.
Yeah. It's your life show.
Yeah. And I got it, like what you mentioned. And sometimes people say that. Let's say if you have a dream, if you have a plan, sometimes you say to really your close person, probably just for example, let's say your parents. Actually, when they said something, because they worry about you. And then they mention like, oh no, why don't you just stay here? Like, and then it makes you lose your confidence.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes for me, like I do understand that they do care, they do love me, but then maybe I just keep it to myself until I really do it. And then I can show it to them.
Yeah, that's right.
Fake it till you make it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's much better, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's often it's, build in silence.
Yeah.
Right. Create in, that statement has two different meanings, I think. Because, which it's true, like just be, yet I think on social media, that's become more of what people are taking picture in front of cars and pretending they're
more
right?
flexing.
And I would say, cut the flex.
True.
Because the flex isn't real.
Yeah.
And the ones, if you notice now on social media, so much changes. Now more on social media are the ones that are just being real people. Literally being real, talking real, like this is real.
Yeah.
Instead of like the position, like things that are so perfect, because that then someone realizes that they can do it too.
Yeah.
How do you see it, the changes, right? Let's say metaphor in a digital world. I mean, you mentioned like you start when YouTube just started. Or probably even before Facebook, Friendster. Remember, and then even like for us in Indonesia, if we don't have an internet, we go to we call it warnet before. So it's like, I would say cafe internet. It's like warung internet.
Yeah.
So we paid like hours and then we using that, right? And then now it changes again. And even now with AI.
Oh my goodness.
Right? Like, you don't even have to think when you want to know something. You just like tap to that who is very famous right at the moment, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
So true.
And then just ask, and then like, the answer.
Yeah.
And before, during my era, I have to go to the library, have a member card, and then find a book, right? And now it's just like easy.
It's easy.
How do you see that?
Yeah, I mean, so many changes have happened. My goodness. Because when we first started traveling, it was YouTube, right? It was videos and YouTube, and it was, no one knew what to do. Like, this is edited. We got like beautiful microphones. Like, we were like phones, and there were the funny phones. There wasn't even, I don't think, an iPhone back then, right? And then it would take
Nokia or
it would take hours to upload a video. Hours. And it's funny when you mentioned Varonet. When we got here in 2009, I would take my laptop, and we didn't have, there wasn't internet in the villas, right? It was hard to get internet. So I would also go, and I would sometimes have calls, because in America, morning is nighttime in America. So I would go to our rooms, but they were not open. They were not open. I would sit against the window of the room and trying to get the internet. And this is when Skype, I don't know if anyone remembers Skype.
Yeah, I remember.
Skype was one of the first times we could communicate, but I would be like holding it there, upload the video. I had like a 5-minute video. I would stand there for like 3 hours in the morning. You know, and so, but it's changed a lot, right? Things have gotten faster and like more accessibility to information. But what happened is that our minds have gotten very fragmented, and we're no longer stopping and really listening to like shows like this, because we're like reels.
Now,
Quick information.
is something that is really short. Like my nephew, 5 years old already.
Swiping. Yeah.
Wow.
Right? And so our brains are actually getting smaller. They're getting weaker. And so I want to share this with the creators here, is that, you know, we say either a consumer or you're a creator. So we want to be creators, because there is, you know, probably 90% of the world are consuming. So if you find yourself being a consumer, switch and say, how do I become a creator? And that means, how do I give value to someone else's life? But that's a big statement. How do I help give value? Because right now, most 99% of what's on the internet has zero value. So we're spending our time, hours a day, no value. Our brains are getting smaller. So like watching shows like this, we're adding value to you. Create
longer video.
And create something that at least gives someone some value. And that's what I've seen, is that I've gone from like really quality long form content and helping people learn and teaching something to seeing these little shorts and reels. It's like, I can't even, what did you just teach me? Next one, what did you just teach me? Next one, I don't even know. And then you literally find yourself knowing nothing, but spending more time than you would before. So that's how I've seen it change. Now, of course, I'm getting older, and the young creators might be like, oh, but that's what we like. I don't know. I would ask yourself, is that what you need? It might be what your brain wants, which is because it's addictive. Because dopamine and serotonin are hormones that come from our body when we're, But what do you really need? And that's, I think.
What did you get from that?
What did you get? You leave that session. How did you leave smarter? Or did you leave dumber? And that's what we talk in my family. Like, my daughter, Hanale, takes breaks like weeks and months at a time. And she's almost 18. And she started her first company when she was 11. And she's an artist, but she's, you know.
Oh, wow.
So use your time wisely.
So I want to know how you manage your time with your family and you teaching your daughter.
Yeah, that's a good question, because that's not always like the best answer everyone wants to hear. I do my best. However, when you are running a company that's across the world, because my company's global, I work early in the mornings and later in the evenings, because America is waking up when we are going to bed here on Bali. So our family's really good about making time for each other. And so we always in the morning, like Brian and I, we make sure we wake up and then we have coffee together, or we go to the gym. We always make sure that we're spending some time, at least whether it's an hour together as a family. And then of course, then we're working throughout the day. But we always make sure too that we have quality time where we're having dinner together. I think we eat dinner almost every night together, whereas most families don't. So I always balance that. I always make sure, okay, this is my golden time of work, and then after that, everything has to stop. And then I make sure that we spend golden time as a family as well. So I do golden time for work, golden time with the family. This phone, my phone, sometimes I have to put it down. Hanale's like, Mom, no working right now. I was, thank you.
But that's true. Like what my mom said, if you don't have a time, just make a time.
Make a time, right?
That's the only answer.
Make it. Yeah, you make it. So it's balanceable. Yet sometimes I just really work a lot.
Yeah.
And there's other times I don't want to work at all. But I own my own company, so I can say, today is spa day.
And then that's your main purpose where you...
That's right. Why I quit my job. Right. Exactly. So we can be with her and spend time.
And you need to put time with your family.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
So is there anything that you want still like, okay, this is like another dream that I want to achieve? Like, I really want to know, like, what do you want, like, in let's say 3 years, 5 years, like, or 10 years probably?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Yeah, I know. We're like, wow, our families went to all 7 continents. That was a big, it's a lot.
That's a good achievement.
That's a big achievement. But for me, it's my book series. So we've already had Wealth and Intuition. Next year's Leadership.
We have to.
Yeah, so you definitely get access to that.
Book.
Yeah,
That's gonna be in my bucket
there's 25
list.
stories in there. So we launch the book next year. Yeah, and then diversity is the year after. But my big goal for the book is to be a bestseller, a New York Times bestseller.
Wow.
And which means we have to sell a lot of books. So when I launch that book, you can go look at it now. You can actually get Women Gone Wild. That will help.
It's gonna be here.
Yeah.
The book.
Yeah.
We'll put the link.
Yeah, we'll put the link. And I want to have 80,000 women in a coliseum sharing their wild story.
I'm gonna be there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
right?
be
Let's do it.
We'll be there.
part of that
Like,
80,000.
where is this coliseum? I don't know where it is yet. It might be in Italy. It could be in Bali. It could be, I don't know. I just see it. It could be in Times Square. But I want to see that, and I want to have like
It could be in
Pink,
real Colosseum,
Beyonce,
like a
right,
gladiator,
like in Rome or
right?
something.
And then we make like a really nice, right?
That would
can be really
amazing.
good. It's like a dress code, and then you are gonna be like all with the new era, but try to feel that the old era, and then we will become like a really gladiator woman.
And
That's
wow.
gonna be really
Okay,
good.
so that's our new story.
That's right.
We're doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna be so cool.
Yeah.
So with this two, right, wealth and intuition. So you have the story from a different woman.
25
the
ladies.
25 ladies.
25 stories are in every single book. So you get a different, like some ladies may not connect, or men connect with me, but they might connect with you or you.
Yeah.
So there's all different stories about that topic.
Can be relate as well. So maybe cannot relate with this one, but relate with another one, right? And I think it's not only for women. For all
Of
the
course
men
not.
that want to know more about women should read that book.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Woo! Really exciting.
To see the leadership one.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I have the intuition book here in Bali. I'll have to make sure you get one.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm very lucky. Sorry, guys.
That's a nice conversation.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And yeah, it's already like 45 minutes, right?
Really?
Wow, that was
I thought
fast.
it's just like only 10
I
minutes.
know, my goodness. We have to do it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe next time we should do it like live, right? So offline.
Yeah,
Why not?
that's
It's
good.
gonna be like a workshop, and then
You
we
need
can
to
do
bring your
it,
book.
right?
Yeah, I'll bring the book.
Yeah, I think a lot of ladies that want to join as well. Like we have also like a Bvrdigitalk, which is where we call it Wanita Ninja. Yeah, we had the first episode with the MC of our president, the first Pak Jokowi. Yeah, previous first president.
Wow,
Yeah,
cool.
so it's really inspired woman. And I think that can be really good to share that woman gone wild, right?
Stay wild.
Are there.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I always leave this with everyone. So don't forget to be unstoppable and stay wild.
Stay wild.
Thank you so much, Rhonda.